Everybody, we are here. I'm with Pastor Glenn on this high mountains of apple gardens, and there is a lot to learn from this garden. There are many things that help us to grow in our spiritual life. I wanted to, Pastor Glenn to give us some explanation and also help us, to understand spiritually how this related to our spiritual life. Pastor Glenn, can you please tell us about this?
All right. So if you look at these apples right here,
Yeah.
you have some rotten apples. And so you see you have one rotten apple, but right next to it's another rotten apple.
Yes.
Because when you have rotten apples and they are touching other apples, then they rub off on the other apples and they become rotten. That's why they say one bad apple in the pot ruins the whole barrel.
Yeah.
So on an apple tree, you have the trunk. And so here's the trunk right here,
Yes.
but this has been sliced into the trunk. And so you can slice different varieties. There's over 1,000 varieties of apples. And so one trunk can have many different varieties. So these are Fuji apples, and it's specifically Fuji because this is how they harvest the apples for selling.
Okay.
And so that's why they don't have many different species here. They have them all separated by rows and areas.
Yes.
But they could put a Honey Crisp in there, they can put a Red Delicious in there, and then this one tree would have Fuji, Honey Crisp, Red Delicious. And that's showing how, like when Paul says we're all baptized into one body, the body of the Lord Jesus Christ, and we all have different functions. So we're connected to Jesus. He's the one that's bringing us to life. It's the trunk that's bringing the life for the apples. So a bad apple on the tree can ruin the other apples on the tree, which is why Jesus says that if you're a fruitful branch, then he prunes you because he wants to get off all the bad apples so that it doesn't ruin the rest of the apples. And so then you have apples that have just fallen. And when you're walking, you can see many times we're walking on the ground and we'll trip because fallen apples cause people to fall. So there's another lesson that you can learn from what we call an apple orchard and not an apple garden, an apple orchard. And these are Fuji apples, and they're really delicious, but you got to find a nice red one or they're bitter, which is important to understand that God is wanting us to grow and to mature and to ripen, or else we'll be sour. And a lot of Christians are sour, and it's because they've not allowed the nourishment to come. See all these apples that are ruined? They're little ones, big ones, but they get ruined. And when they get ruined, then the apples next to them get ruined. So all of these will get pruned off so that the good apples here, well, these are bad too. So the good apples can grow and not be destroyed with rottenness. All right, there you go, buddy.
Thank you, Pastor Glenn. Hope you all blessed by that few thoughts and the lessons that we should learn and apply into our spiritual life. God bless you all.